everybody, it's Jessica the Dollhouse Curator, and this is take number 3 of trying to get this intro done. So y'all know it usually takes me a couple of takes, but for this one, y'all, I have a new camera and it's not giving me the blues. I am figuring out how to work with it. However, user error has really caused me to have to do additional takes that I did not think I was going to have to do. But when you forget to turn the mic on, yeah, you got to do additional takes. So, welcome to take number 3. So, welcome back to the Curated Dollhouse, y'all. It is getting to be that time where we are about to unveil our hashtag It's My Birthday MiniVerse collab. Y'all, I am hosting this collaboration with Lena from Lena Aries Creative Concepts, CJ, the Doll Life Official, and Tracelle, the Mama Doll Boss. We have been talking about this all month and doing kind of prepping all month to get our spaces ready. And it is almost time for us to have our videos posted. So I will have the information linked in the description box below. But if you are unaware about this, basically, y'all, we are asking you to join us by creating a scene or diorama using MiniVerse products. And the scene should be birthday themed since it is the hashtag It's My Birthday. We want you to link all 4 of us in the description box of your videos and have those videos posted around April 28th because, y'all, I may be late. And for this, y'all, you can use the birthday 5-pack, you can use the birthday capsules, or you can use random MiniVerse that you may already have. But no matter what you use, y'all, we want you to join us just so we can have a little dollhouse fun. And today's video will be all about creating the crafts that I decided that I will be using for my hashtag It's My Birthday collab. So if y'all are unaware, my birthday was this month, and also Miss Lena's birthday was this month. So that's why it is the hashtag It's My Birthday collab, and I was so excited. But I am also super cheap, y'all. I really am. I didn't have any of the birthday series. I didn't have any of the birthday surprise capsules. But I did have some new MiniVerse that I had gotten recently with really good sales and really good discounts. So I wound up using some of the Hershey's series to make my crafts. And in today's video, I'm going to show y'all the crafts that I decided to make. And I'm going to explain to y'all why I did these crafts. So number 1, I said I didn't get any of the birthday capsules, but I did notice that the birthday capsules seem to come with 2 drinks, a party favor, and some kind of snack, either a cake or a donut or something like that. So y'all, I wanted to take some of the items that I had in the MiniVerse and see if I could theme them around the birthday surprise capsules. So in today's video, y'all will see me make 2 drinks, some snack cakes, and we will also be doing a table topper. Now, why a table topper, y'all? Because I noticed in all of the holiday and the specialty series, they have some kind of really cute design on the table. And since we're going to be using the retro diner, I thought that would be fun to do as a quick little craft, still based around MiniVerse and the birthday series thought process, but it would be super quick and easy to do. But y'all know, as a Dollhouse Curator, I always have a little bit extra to give you. So I recommend y'all stick around because not only are we going to be doing a craft on drinks, some cupcakes, and some table topper, y'all, I am going to be showing you today how to make MiniVerse drinks that are temporary and will not ruin your MiniVerse cups. So y'all stick around because that's going to be super fun. And y'all know, as a Dollhouse Curator, I always have a little bit extra for you. So after the craft video, we're going to be coming into the space and I'm going to show you a little bit of the items that we're going to be using that are still MiniVerse themed. And I have one additional project that I did that I thought was super special. It is totally just for me. And and I think you all will enjoy it. So make sure you stick around after the crafts to see the ending and that extra special stuff that I have for you. Okay, so y'all, for our very first craft, for our MiniVerse crafts, I wanted to do some drinks. So I told y'all for the birthday series, they usually have a drink. We're going to do a table, and then they have some kind of little snack cake type item. So I also told y'all in one of the videos that I've done recently, I think the one about the retro diner, that I had a horrible experience with a drink one time, and that is this root beer float. I did not have enough resin to complete the project. I had to fill in with other resin. It did eventually work out okay. However, it kind of made me a little wary about making the drinks again, because I was like, if I'd have known I wasn't going to have enough resin, I would have never tried to make this. I would have just kept the really nice mug. So for this craft, I got to thinking, how can I create some drinks without always having to use my cup? So today, y'all, we will be doing a craft where I have tested making some temporary drinks for my MiniVerse. So when I say temporary, y'all know I'm going to drop something every video. Every single video without fail. When I say temporary, y'all, I mean I wanted to create some resin type items that I could utilize in my cup to where it would look really nice, but where I would not have to worry. I'm trying to see where the best clarity is. If I get too close with the new camera, you kind of lose it. But where I wouldn't have to be worried about ruining my cup, and I could get different stuff. So yeah, that looks about pretty good right there. So I came up with trying to create these, and today we're going to create some temporary drinks for our cups for our MiniVerse #ismybirthday collab. So y'all, for this, you of course need some resin. You will need your MiniVerse cups that you want to use, and you will need some saran wrap. So this is going to be a little trial and error depending on what size cup you want to use for yours. But these, I'm using the ones that kind of usually come with the soda pop or the slushy size. So I cut me a piece of saran wrap that is a pretty decent little square. And y'all, to get this to work the best, you need to get the saran wrap in the cup as close to the bottom as you can and pressed against the sides. So I have found the easiest way to do that is to use an old school Barbie brush. I lay my saran wrap across the top, stick my old school Barbie brush in, fold my edges around the edge of the cup, and then I go around with my Barbie brush and kind of tap it down and push the saran wrap kind of together along the sides as best I can. And there you go. You see I got my saran wrap in the cup. Y'all, it is not going to be perfect, but I think it's going to be good enough for our little craft today. So for today, y'all, I want to make a 3-layer drink. So we are going to start with some mango margarita resin from the cocktail series. The middle part will be the saltwater resin from the nature series. And the top will be some cotton candy resin from the cafe and diner series. So first thing I'm going to do, go ahead and open up my orange resin here. I wanted it to be 3 layers, y'all. Y'all have seen those drinks in TV shows or in bars where they already have the little layered stuff. So I thought it would give me the most bang for the buck in trying to create these little temporary drinks. So I'm going to go ahead and just fill as far up as I want to. And y'all, I don't know how much resin I have in this one. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do them both at the same time so I can get them as close to the same looking as possible. Alright, so there is our top one, our first color. So, next thing I'm going to have to do is I need to go ahead and put these under my UV light so it can harden, so we can put our next layer. So I will be right back after we have cured this one. Okay, so these ones are cured. Y'all, this project is definitely a trial and error. Getting the saran wrap to be perfectly laid so that it comes out all nice and pretty is going to be a feat. But it is a cute little way that you can create something quick and easy that I thought was super adorable. So I'm saying this because when we take these out, they're not going to look exactly the same, but they will be good enough for the little project that I wanted to do. So next I'm going to go in with my clear. Okay, fill that up as high as I can. And also I'm saying that because I already noticed that my resin on this one is clinging a bit to my saran wrap more than I wanted it to. But oh well, y'all, this is just a fun little craft project that we are testing. Maybe a little more on that one. Also, if you are noticing that once it cures a little bit, that it is kind of a little too high in your cup, you can just tap it down a little bit. I just kind of latched it from around the cup and then just kind of tapped it down, and that should work. Alright, so we're going to cure for layer 2, and then we will be back for layer 3. Okay, and for our last little bit, I am going to take some of my cotton candy resin here, and I am going to go right over the top with a little bit of pink. Now, if you are using the kind of glazed resin on these, whereas the saltwater and the Mai Tai margarita mix, those resins are more of a liquid, so they are meant to pour. These are more of a squeeze, so you do have to make sure you are putting a little effort behind getting it in there. And then I just kind of dab it up and down to kind of get it to settle without having to use a nozzle. Okay, so these are dry, y'all. So you can see my pink on top. And you can see in the cup, we have the yellow, the clear, and the pink. So next, you need to kind of unmold these. And you can do that 2 different ways, y'all. So I'm going to do it both ways so that I can show you both ways and how they will look. So for this one that didn't come out as great, as y'all see, that like literally came right out of the cup. No problems, no issues. You can see that the coloring is still really vibrant. And we have the saran wrap around it. But it still is a very vibrant craft. So I have found on my original ones that you can go through and peel the saran wrap off. It doesn't come off the greatest, y'all. It doesn't. Again, this is a work in progress craft. But it does come off well enough where, see how I don't like to work with me? It does come off well enough where you will get a nice mold of a drink craft for your cup. There you go. I will definitely be getting better pictures of this at the end, y'all, so don't worry. And then for this one that looks a little bit better, you can leave the saran wrap on there, and then you can just trim around the sides. Where did I put my scissors? There they are. And you can just trim the saran wrap off the top. And then you don't have to worry about having to fight with the saran wrap once you're done with your craft like I just did. Okay. And it still looks just as good and just as clear. And still fits inside the cup. So there you go, y'all. We have made temporary drinks for our birthday scene. So that's craft number 1. Craft number 2 is coming right up. Okay, for craft number 2, I will be taking these cupcakes and the little whipped cream that it came with, and I will be making my version of my absolute favorite cake, which is yellow cake and chocolate icing. But I don't have any chocolate. I don't have any of these in chocolate, so we're going to paint a couple of these. So I will be doing 4 yellow cupcakes. So I need to paint these 4 cookies and cream type cupcakes. Yeah, gotta find the right spot where it looks good. But I'm gonna paint these. So y'all, I am not gonna have y'all stick around while I paint these. But before I get to the painting, I do want to go ahead and fix the first couple. So y'all, I am not going to use resin for putting these together. These are the chocolate ones that I'm going to be leaving. I will be using hot glue. Resin does not work really good if it cannot get through the coloring or the opaqueness of whatever it is you're trying to stick together. So I have my hot glue gun over here. It is nice and warm. And I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on the top. Just enough to give it a good covering. And then I am going to use yellow mix on these, or yellow icing on those. That way it just gives a reverse of the yellow cake chocolate icing, chocolate cake yellow icing. Guess I should be doing this over here so y'all can see, since we are doing a craft. Alrighty, so I have those 2 done. I will be painting these, but I'm going to go ahead and get all of these ready so that y'all don't have to wait the whole time while these dry, and we can move on to our next craft. So the last thing, y'all, I told you in some video that Reese's is my absolute favorite candy. Second behind that would be probably Snickers. And Twix is fighting right there at a close third. I will not lie. So I really wanted the Hershey series for this, or for these little Reese's. So I am going to go ahead and put just a couple of these little Reese's on the top of my cupcakes. They even have some that have a halfie. Oh my goodness. Okay. I didn't know they had some that had a little halfie. I didn't. Okay, so I'm going to take a whole one, and I'm just going to touch a little bit of it to my hot glue, y'all, just a little bit, because I still want it to be able to fit in the crevice of the cupcake. There we go. Trying to use these tweezers, y'all, because y'all know hot glue is hot. And with my hot glue gun that my son got me, I love it, I really do, but it still drips a little more. Not as bad as my original janky hot glue gun, but it still does drip. So I try to be very easy, because I have already burned myself a couple of times pretty good on that hot glue gun. Alrighty, so these are what our little cupcakes will look like. And again, I will give y'all a much closer look. And of course, that hot glue just did not even stick. Give me just a second. We're going to fix that. Alright. So I am going to paint these other ones so I can have yellow cake and chocolate icing. We will be adding some of the cute little Reese's to it. But now that I know they have a couple of halfies, y'all, I think these I may do with a couple of halfies as well. And y'all will see these after I get them painted. Okay, and for our last project, y'all, I want to do a table topper. So, as I said, when you get the MiniVerse holiday series or the specialty series, the table is always kind of designed. So I wanted to do something similar with this little makeshift birthday series that I am doing. So I want to create me a cute little table topper, but y'all, I'm not going to do this as simple as you think I'm going to. We are going to try to do a little something extra. So y'all just bear with me because I'm not sure this is going to work out, but we're going to try it. So what I want to do is I want to have a circular tabletop, but that matches these two colors. So half would be the teal, half would be the kind of white rainbow. I'm not 100% sure this is going to work, but we're going to try it and see. So to start this one, we are going to turn our teal our teal paper over, and I'm going to try to get right as close to the edge of this curve, y'all, and I'm doing that on purpose because I don't want to have to do a lot of cutting. So if I get right up to the edge, that does decrease the amount of cutting I'm going to need to do with the scissors. And I'm going to go around my table. So we will see if this is going to work together. Next thing I'm going to do is cut these out. I'm not going to let you watch me struggle cutting these out. So I'm going to pause and be right back when they're cut. Okay, I got my two circles cut out. It worked out pretty good. They seem to be about the same size. So the next thing, y'all, to get this to work, I think we will need to cut a line down the middle of our circles so that they can interlock together. So that will give me the teal on one side, this color on the other side. Yeah, I think that's what I need to do. However, I have to do this the right way to make it work. So in order to get these to interlock, I need to cut one this way and the other one. It makes sense in my brain, even though it is not making sense right now. And then I'm sure some of you are thinking, well, why not just do the easiest thing possible and just cut these in half right now and then just tape them back together? Because I want it to be kind of full circles, y'all. Sometimes when you do crafts, your brain just literally has to be the most difficult that it can be. And that is what my brain is being right now. It is being the most difficult that it can be. But I think it is going to work. I think it is going to work. We shall see. And if it doesn't, then we're going to cut them in half. And I'm still going to be able to do it with some tape. But I think this will work. So now I have both of my circles. You see I have them cut. They're kind of almost like little Pac-Mans. And I am going to crisscross them together. You don't want to cut all the way through. You just want to cut most of the way through. That way, it has something to hold on to. Okay, that came out a little bit better than I expected. Do y'all see that? There's a little bit of white on that side, the teal. Little white, the big piece of white, and a little bit of teal on this side. We're going to take it. We're going to take it. Yep. I'm going to use a little bit of tape. Put it at the back. And we have made our cute little table topper that has a little bit of dimension. So y'all see it has the teal. It has a little bit of the white, the teal, the big piece of white, and a little bit of the teal for our table. I like it. We're going to stick with it. Yeah. Now, I will also say, y'all, this is not, I only taped it on the back, so it won't just completely come apart. But it does have a little bit of the foldness kind of theming to it also, like what we got with the piñatas. So I guess it did kind of work out a little bit better than I expected. So yeah, but I only have that little bit taped, and then we will go from there. All right, I'm going to stop this for a minute. I got to make sure everything is dry. I'm going to get it all set up all pretty so you can see all of the things that we've created today. And then we will be finishing up. I hope y'all enjoyed those little crafts. I thought it was a really fun idea to try to use what I had in my collection and just theme it around the birthday series. I think of all of the little crafts that we made, my favorite would have to be the temporary drinks. I think this is a really cool idea that you can use to be able to still keep your cups, but still be able to have something to make it look like drinks. And y'all, for me, y'all know Saran wrap does not like me, but it has become one of my favorite items to try to craft with for things like this, and I think it works out really good. Additionally, I said that my favorite cake is for my birthday is yellow cake and chocolate icing, so we did the Hershey's cupcakes. So y'all, I went ahead and painted the icing chocolate brown on those yellow cupcakes. We did 4 of those. I used the little Reese's candies on top. I used 2 whole ones on the 2 whole ones and 2 of the halfies on the chocolate ones, and I used whole ones on the vanilla and chocolate cupcake. And I did go over it. Y'all see it has a little sheen and shimmer to it. I went over these with my gold glitter paint just to give it a little bit extra, with the idea that maybe somebody sprinkled a little gold leaf or a little gold dust on top of these really cute little cupcakes for the birthday. And then I know the last thing y'all are thinking is, where is the table topper? Because that was the last craft that you did. Well, y'all, that will be coming in at the end because I have just a little bit something extra for y'all. So, as you know, we are doing a MiniVerse inspired collab. So I wasn't going to do just that much MiniVerse, y'all. I went through and I pulled out some of my favorite MiniVerse items that I have made from the collection that I will be using as part of the diner space to help add to the MiniVerse feel, but y'all, to also really make it feel like a diner by having extra food. So I am going to get close up so y'all can see. I will be using some drinks, some milkshakes. I also have the ice cream sundaes that I made late last year. We also will be using a few of the items that we initially got. So this is one of my very first MiniVerse items that I made, a little boba tea. This is another one of the first that I got. It is a cheesecake, and y'all, as much as I love yellow cake and chocolate icing, I love cheesecake just as much, so I wanted to add that in there. And then one of my favorite items to use for my MiniVerse, y'all excuse me moving it so much, I'm holding the camera, but are my little nacho chips that I did. So I think these are adorable. I tried to go through and do each little individual chip with a little pico on there and some resin so it would stick. And then, y'all, I have a couple of savory items that I have recently gotten. Okay, I say recently. I'm going to say within the last couple of months. But we have some of what I'm calling the sweet and sour chicken and the pot stickers. I absolutely love these. I love the container that it comes in, and it is savory food, so that will work out really, really well. And then, y'all, I am getting ready to bring in the final thing. So let me move these. So on top of our table topper that we made as a craft is a cake that I made especially for me. So if I can get super close and get y'all to see that. It has foil covering on it, y'all, so that is the problem. It will be, hope that works, but I used the double-decker MiniVerse cake. And I used some of that foil paper, foil cardstock that I got at the Dollar Tree that I covered in my Leto's motorcycle haul video. And I made a little cake for myself. So let's see if it will work with me. I created some candles. It has letter 46 up there. If y'all can't see it, I will post pictures. But I created some candles, so it has 46 at the top. It has that foil paper on it, and I used Bluebonnet inspired flowers that I had in the collection from Dollar Tree because I am a Texas girl. And I made that little cake especially for this collaboration for another scene, not this scene, but for another scene that we will be doing, because I also have a little bonus that I'm going to be putting into our collaboration video also. But I absolutely love how this turned out. It is 100% me. I love that foil paper. I love having the 46 on there because this is my 46th birthday. And the Bluebonnets, y'all, even though I do think it kind of looks more like a wedding cake than it does a actual, let me see if I can get it to zoom in good. Nope. I got to get used to the new camera. But anyway, I do believe it looks more like a wedding cake than it does an actual birthday cake. But I did not care. I was going to go ahead and use it. But y'all, I am super excited about this collab. And I think the little crafts that we've done, the other MiniVerse that we're going to be adding in, the table topper turned out absolutely adorable. And y'all, that is an idea that came in as we were working on the craft on video. And I think it turned out absolutely adorable. And y'all can see where it has the little teal, the white, the teal, and the white on the edge. I think that is so cute, and it turned out so much better than I thought it was going to. But anyway, that's all I have for y'all right now. I am loving my new camera, but I do have to get used to it, so we will continue to work with it. But the diner space is turning out super cute. I have two of my favorite items still over here with the jukebox that does light up, y'all. Don't forget, it does light up. And the arcade game. I am loving the Hey Besties dolls. So glad that I got those two new ones. So here is Miss Bella and Miss Nicole that we got in the first set. And then one of the subscribers, Miss DB, just recently sent me Miss Jasmine and Michaela. So I love having them in here, and of course that inspired me to add in some of my Chelseas and my Tommies to give them a little best friend vibe as well. But y'all, I'm super excited about this, and I hope y'all will be back to see what we are going to be doing in full for that collaboration, because again, remember, I will have a little extra in that one for y'all as well. So y'all remember, as always, to like, share, and subscribe. But if you don't do any of those three, leave us comments and let me know what you think about our temporary drink craft idea for the MiniVerse, so you can keep your cups and still have some cool drinks. What you think about our little cupcakes that we made, including adding the little glitter and candy on top for a little extra flair. And our cute little table topper craft that I just wanted to do to kind of theme it around the birthday series. And I am super excited to be using all of these little MiniVerse items. I always usually make the ones that are my absolute favorite, y'all. I really do. But I'm loving the idea of using all of these in this space for the very first collab that I am hosting with some other individuals. So that is super cool. So until next time, this is Jessica, the Dollhouse Curator. We will be back another day with another video. Bye, y'all.